Yes, everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to All for United. This is All for United Uncut after Manchester United just beaten Wolves. Yes, we actually won the game 1-0. If my voice is gone, it's because I was celebrating Mason Greenwood's goal a little bit too much because it was quite a good goal and I knew he was going to score at the moment. He swung his boot out and he was about to hit it. So that was a great feeling. And we've got plenty to discuss because you've not seen me for a while. We've got United's win. We've got United's record-breaking win, by the way. That's a Premier League record for unbeaten matches away from home. And you've not even heard my opinions on Cristiano Ronaldo. So make sure you whack a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, because loads of you have been turning in and showing up to the cause. So make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Comment below how are you feeling, what you're drinking first of all. And yeah, we've got plenty to discuss. But first, play that intro.
Click subscribe to get daily Manchester United content from passionate Reds, only on All for United.
Yes, you absolutely. Welcome back to All for United. This is All for United Uncut. How are we all doing? Is that civil carpet? Yes, it is. I've got facial hair, some of it anyway. Welcome to All for United Uncut. Lads, what are we drinking?
Who's going first? I'm always more interested in Stu. Sorry, Connor, we'll get to you in a minute.
Hey, me. Well, I'm going for a local brew. It's called Eagle.
Yes, he's not got the glass. Come on.
It's called Eagle Hunter, and it's full-bodied. It's a full-bodied pale. But it's from a local brewery by us locally in Ironbridge.
A full-bodied pale is what I'd call it.
It does. Is that a 4 ounce or not 4 ounce, 4 liters or 5 or whatever it's called? I work in a bar. I should know this, but it's a nice glass.
I don't really know. I got it gifted to me years ago. It's a Stella glass. I got it gifted to me years ago, so I'm not really sure. But
right, enough about your drink. What's everyone else having?
I'm having Sweden's Norrlands Gould. Yeah, it's shit. It's a really shit lager, but it's fucking cheap.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah,
James and Connor.
Connor, you can go first. Oh god, well, I was on Peroni for the last 2.5, 3 hours. I'm now on whatever I've just found in the cupboard. I think it's Chicago. I think.
Right.
Whatever that
says Noon Whistle.
I'm trying not to drop it over my laptop, but that's what it is anyway. It's a pale ale. That's all you need to do.
And I bet James drinking nothing because he's in his missus' house.
No, I'm at my own house.
He's in his babysitter's house. Is that what you said, Carl? Please tell me that's what you said. Because that is fucking top quality banter if that was the case.
Yes, that's what I said.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Boom! Take that, James, you little bollocks.
Oh, we've got a super chat already. Strawberry milk is nice. Of course it is.
Yeah, guys.
Ronaldo's home.
I know. Look, I need to just go on a bit of a rant about this. Ronaldo coming home is I will say actively, Ronaldo is probably the only footballer I can guarantee that has made all of us cry. Okay? Him coming back to Manchester United is beyond anything, all right? Because we could say, look, we'll say Cavani coming back or coming to the club. He's an older statesman. He's done it everywhere. He can teach the younger lads. Absolutely. But you know what Cavani is, how is different from Cristiano Ronaldo? Same as Zlatan Ibrahimovic, is that Cristiano Ronaldo is known for being possibly the greatest player who's ever lived, ever. You know, so for the fact that he's come back to the club, not only to inspire the front line, just for finishing, but to get up to that level that he's at is just probably the best signing since we signed him the first time. And it's something, there is no downside to this. It doesn't matter to me if he just comes in and scores 8 goals, because I know his legacy from coming there now will live on far longer than any other player that comes here. And there is no downside to this. If you're finding a downside, you're looking for attention. Him coming back to United is absolutely sensational. And I don't give a shit if we talk about that Wolves game at all today. We won. It was great. I just want to wax lyrical about Ronaldo. I want to know how we all felt. Can we just ask, how did we all feel when he left? Can you remember where you were when he left the first time? James, you were 6 months old. Connor, I don't know. You might have been playing tennis according to your Twitter. That's possibly what's happened for you. Stu, I
think you were still playing for Sheffield then.
Yeah, he was in the reserves. Stu, you were mid-70s, so you should have a fair idea of where you were, I'd imagine. But the old watery brain might have kicked in by then.
The old Alzheimer's. couple of things really. I don't cry, as I'm sure you probably guessed. You know, I'm only joking. We all cry. I did raise a bit of a smile as James witnessed when Ronaldo was back, because I was happy. Do you know something? When he left the first time, because we had 12 months to get used to it, it was kind of okay.
But see, shoot, hold on. The thing with like I think he got. I think I was 19 when he left, right? So like I think I was that little bit older. Like I said, James. Like who knows? You were a fucking star in the milkman's eye at that point. Connor, you had already racked up about 70 league appearances in League One, so that's fine.
I was late 30s.
Yeah. Kartik, you always exist at being 22, so you're fine. And but I remember that whole season leading up to it, I was in fucking denial. You know, I was camping on the river in Egypt because there was not one part of me that thought he was going to leave. I remember him being questioned. I remember the lead up. I was watching it in Brady's pub in Molineux, the Champions League final against Barcelona, and they asked him, they're like, "Are you going to be here next season?" And he went, "Yes." And I remember when he actually got sold, when it was announced that he was leaving, I was bringing my youngest brother, my younger brother to. He was getting my develops and himself always suffer from a bad thing where we get nosebleeds the whole time, and it was something that you just have to get sealed in the back of your nose. So I was bringing him to a hospital in Dublin for that, and we were walking through the square, the supermarket across of it, and I got announced on all the TVs, and I was like, "What is this? What like this? I cannot believe this." I remember being absolutely and utterly heartbroken by it, and I remember because I was living in Spain that summer that Fergie said he might be back. Do you know, he might be back. And then once Fergie left, I never thought.
Well, he was meant to be back the season after Sir Alex retired, but he decided to retire.
Yeah, if Fergie stayed on, he would have been back years ago. Like, absolutely. And but once when Sir Alex retired, I was like, we're never going to see him. The next time we'll see him in the United jersey is if they do like 2038 or something, that they do the Champions League fight. You know, that's the only time we'd see it. I never thought we'd see it again. I still can't believe that it's going to happen. And I don't think there's any way of understating how important this is. Will he win us the league title? I don't know. I can't guarantee that.
Spoiler alert, yes.
Yes. But he will definitely win us games. He will definitely score the winner at Anfield in the 95th minute. Definitely, that's a guaranteed. But he'll definitely win us 6 to 7 games. He'll definitely guarantee us, if not a Premier League title, which we hope it does, he'll definitely win us a title. Definitely get us guaranteed Champions League football top 2. He will definitely, if we're in a cup final, whether it be FA Cup, Champions League, Europa League, Charity Shield, he will score. Like, he is the ultimate big game player, and that has been since he was maybe 21 up until now. There is no player who has been consistently come up when they need it than him.
It's more than just his performances, though, isn't it? Because while we're on the topic, we may as well discuss it.
Yeah.
His influence on everyone else.
Yeah.
Like Mason, for example, I tweeted as a joke the other day when I said, you know, Carrington may as well be renamed the Mason Greenwood Training Complex, because he's had Cavani last year, and now he's got the fucking best player that's ever played the game to walk in and go, "Hey, here, let me teach you how to do it." So it's like, it couldn't be a more perfect thing, because you've got Marcus Rashford, you've got Jadon Sancho, you've got Mason Greenwood. By the time Cristiano Ronaldo leaves United, let's say 2-3 years maximum, none of them will be above the age of 25.
Yeah, you're dead right, Kartik. And the thing is as well,
and that's a scary thing to think about, is it?
But with that, and why it's so important is, like, I don't think any player, you can't be in awe of an opposition player. Okay, you can respect them and you can understand how important they are to a game, but if you're in awe, they've already beaten you. So for the fact that Ronaldo, when they came up against him, because he's obviously coming up against Sancho at Dortmund with both Juventus and for Real Madrid as well, and across with other players as well, never they shouldn't be in awe. But the fact that he is at the club right now and they're going to be working with him day in, day out, I genuinely think the likes of Rashford, the likes of Sancho, the likes of Martial, likes of Greenwood are just going to be completely in awe of this player, of, like, honestly the greatest player of all time. And not just him, like Varane will back him up and everything, across, like, his mentality of being the best is going to spread not only in the first team, through the youth ranks, through everyone. And it is probably our most important signing since we signed him last time, genuinely.
Is there anyone that can play devil's advocate for this and go, well, maybe we could have used the money elsewhere, or was it a case of you just have to do it?
No, I think if he comes available, a player of that caliber, you've got to do it.
But is that on the flip side though? Is that not what we did with Alexis Sanchez? I'm not saying it was a bad signing. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
There's a big difference when you have that clown Messi who's just come on and made his debut for PSG, going to retire because he wants to win a title in another country. So he's got to go to PSG because it's the only place he can do it realistically quickly. And he's trying to cement his legacy. Ronaldo probably could have gone and put his feet up at PSG and taken another title. He could have put his feet up in America, probably taken a
or Juventus shoot. He could have just said Juventus and probably won the title as well.
Juve couldn't afford him, could they?
Well, no, but we'll take money out. That if he stayed at Juventus, he would have got a league title. You know,
and if he really wanted money, he'd just go to Qatar, where they're throwing billions at him. You know, because the type of player he is. What I think our players aren't quite going to get ready for, and they won't be prepared for his professionalism and what he will and what he won't accept.
Training, especially.
Yeah, and what he will and what he won't accept at training and off the field as well as on field. And I think some of our players are going to have a bit of a wake-up call, and it's almost a Roy Keane moment. He will be that type of player. He'll have that type of influence on everyone around them, and it'll give everyone a lift. I mentioned it on James's show on Friday, and it will almost frighten people as well. It will make them edgy. But when you've got a player with so high standards, and bearing in mind, a lot of the younger players like Greenwood isn't coming into a team of winners that Ronaldo did when he was 17, 18 back then. The types of players he had around him were winners. They wouldn't settle for anything else. And the other thing about Ronaldo is he'll be coming for personal accolades as well. And that's great for us. I'm not a big fan of personal accolades in football because it's a team sport. But at the end of the day, if you've got a single-minded player that wants an extra Ballon d'Or, that wants another Champions League on his belt, wants another Premier League, wants an FA Cup, it will just push and push and push. And we need that right now. There are certain players in our squad and our first 11 that need that extra push. And I think that's why we had to go for him. Not because he's a club icon, but because what he can deliver. So I tend to agree with you, Joe. I think that's the importance of...
I want to make one more point in this because I know James and Connor, and hopefully they have something to say, but it's fine if you want to stay quiet in the corner. That's fine. It suits you fine, James. But on, I think a similar influence was Zlatan. I think Zlatan is someone that's kind of echoed through it as well. Like, I remember my favorite thing he ever did was I was there in the League Cup final when he scored 2 goals. Obviously, that was like an exceptional moment on the pitch. But I remember when we played Blackburn, who were in the Championship at the time, in the FA Cup, maybe 4th round or something like that. And the kind of kids were thrown out, mix of the established players as well. It wasn't our strongest lineup, and it was 0-0. And then Zlatan came on maybe at half time, maybe 50 or 68 minutes, and pretty much immediately scored. Yeah. And they all charged around and celebrate. And he stopped them in their tracks, turned to them, and say, "Why the fuck did I have to do that?" Like, you can look back at the goal now, and he turns, whoever runs at him, and says, "Why did I have to come on and win this game for you?" And he gives them bollocking. That's what Ronaldo will do. But like Stu said perfectly, Ronaldo is coming for personal accolades as well, like trophies and like that. I think Zlatan was more coming to be the top man at a top world club, while Ronaldo is coming to continue the legacy. You know? So I think that's the difference. I think it's what Zlatan did was exceptional. What Ronaldo's going to do is next level on every capacity.
From the two that haven't spoken, so the two that are hiding away in this discussion, in terms of the signing itself, that's a huge profile now. We've got Cristiano Ronaldo at our club. Not only does it transform the culture, not only does it transform the levels that we'll be training and playing at, but it also transforms expectations. Is that something that's going to be difficult for us to deal with, do you reckon?
No, I think we've had a little transition period towards this as well with Bruno Fernandes coming in. I think players are now used to having his mentality, and you saw the difference he made. This is a team now that's a team of winners. Obviously, you add Varane to that mix, you add Ronaldo to that mix, you had Cavani as well. It's not the Mourinho days anymore where you can just sort of doss and get into the team on your rotation. Yeah. It's a team that everyone has to be doing well or they're out instantly. Ollie's shown that ruthlessness sometimes when he's needed to.
Yeah.
About, the standards are there. So I think it won't be too much of a jump because Bruno Fernandes has offered us that perfect bridge. But I think it's only going to complement the winning mentality we have already started to establish at the club.
Exactly. Just quickly, I'll just say thank you to a friend of mine who's in the comments with a
Hey.
$5 super chat. By the way,
Very nice.
I think she wants to add the comments. So I think it's underneath it.
Thanks,
I want to
Meg.
hear from the minority that's not happy about Ronaldo. What's that about? So let's discuss that then. Why do we think people are not going to be happy with the signing?
Because he's 36 years old. Obviously, no matter what he does in his future, he's not going to win 5 Champions Leagues. He's not going to win Ballon d'Ors. He maybe has one more. But really, I don't like. I can understand that argument to an extent, but I'm also like, I think you're making mountains out of molehills, and maybe to think that he's not up to the Premier League standard. But I would also say the Premier League isn't a gold standard for football. Do you know, it isn't like the be all and end all. Obviously, Sky are going to tell you that every time it's on, it's the best league, and they're going to have their presenters saying that, like, can he do it in the Premier League? Can Rafael Varane deal with Sam Vokes of Burnley? Yeah, I'm sure he can. Do you know, he's won 5 Champions Leagues, and I think I can understand that to an extent, but no, like Ronaldo, no, I think no matter what happens, this is even if we signed him to not play a game, I think it's a huge lift on everyone in that changing room, and it gets to levels. I think we're going to see the best from Pogba because he is a target man who he knows how to get to immediately, and it's also that trust of the front line that, like, this guy is literally the best player, could easily be the best player who's ever lived. Not the best player in the world at this moment, but the best player who's ever lived. There's an argument for that. Like, the levels that's going to bring out of everyone, there is no argument aside from that.
There is an argument for that, Joe, but the only thing I would counter with that, it is generational, buddy. It really is generational. There's been some wonderful, wonderful talent back in the 50s, the 60s.
Okay, of course. Stanley matches.
And really
let's not get into that. That's just going to take us ages
no,
to get through.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it is generational. I understand why people would say he's probably the best ever.
But what I'm saying,
that content,
Stu, I don't want to interrupt you on that, but I'm just trying to say, no, but in that, I want to say there's an argument to say he's the best player who's ever lived.
Yes,
Do you know what I mean?
I accept that. I accept that.
With the likes of Cavani, Ibrahimovic, and I love Cavani, love what Ibra did when he came to their club. No one has ever said, I'm sure there's a time they said this guy could be the best player in the world, or at times he's world class, absolutely. And there's no argument to say that against Cavani and Ibra, that they weren't in their career at some point, if not the best player in the world, but showed the qualities of why they're up there and they earned everything they did.
There's a consistency though.
With Ronaldo and with Messi.
Yeah, it's a consistency.
Like they are the two players that are seen as argumentatively the best players who's ever lived. So him at the club is magnificent.
Yes.
Oh, what a day! What a day that was, eh? That was madness. Just all of that unfolding was superb. Right, before we move on to the next topic, I'll just say quick thanks to everyone who's commented so far. A lot of funny comments in, by the way. Hammer said I wouldn't have given you all $5.
Hammer.
Brown Knight says he doesn't have $5. We've got to support your friends. Love that.
My beer was worth $10.
My lager was for 6 was for 80 krona, so that's like €8.
Put it this way, we don't usually.
I was talking about 80 pence.
We don't usually get that level of super chat. So thanks for that. Well, speaking of Ronaldo, there's a guy that he's got to try and get into the team ahead of, and his name's Mason Greenwood. How's he going to do that then?
He
was mint today.
Kartik, that was a really good segue, by the way.
I know. I should do this hosting thing more often.
Yeah, I think
James, I hope you're taking notes.
Yeah, just so you know, James's segues aren't as good as that. You know, he's got a skateboard when you got a segue.
Do you know what, Joe? You've got a full professional setup and somehow look uglier. I don't know how that happened.
Because he hasn't got his green screen working. That's what it is.
I can tell you, it's bad diet. Drinking terrible lager, you know.
Well,
right, okay, but there was a game of football today, so we'll quickly cover that. United beat Wolves 1-0. It wasn't the best performance, so we'll talk about the first half. First off, how bad was that?
Not great. Not great. It was what we expected from last season. when we go into away, but we're second half FC. So I was like, as long as you don't concede. And I will say I completely understand though how Solskjaer set up. I wouldn't say, when I say I'm a big fan of Dan James, I say I think he can contribute something. I think now that we have Ronaldo coming in and we've Greenwood and Sancho on one side, that his options are going to be limited for coming on. So I think this game suited him perfectly with what we have now, because Wolves have the pretty much top 4 in every stat for attacking football without scoring a goal. And Traore is not, he's fantastic on the ball getting by players, but he's literally no end product whatsoever. So I can understand them putting Traore, Dan James, who isn't great attacking, tracking back or anything like that. He's quick and everything, but he isn't going to give you that much defensively. I can understand putting him over that side with Traore, because Traore is not going to do anything. But I think that I can understand why Solskjaer put him in there, and I think he just didn't do very good, and that shows why he hasn't really got a future at the club.
Well, we just, on the topic of people who didn't really perform well, there's an obvious one that we all want to speak about, and let's temper the feelings here a little bit, because he's still a human being, so let's not be nasty towards him. But Fred was very, very bad in that first half. Slabhead, I'll go to you, because you were excited to see the lineup. You said you wanted you were excited to see the 4-3-3, which I was as well.
Yeah.
But then I realized Fred was being in the 6, and I was like, hang on a minute, no. What were your thoughts? Because on paper it looked okay. It should have done better than it did, surely.
Yeah, and to be honest, like you said there, I was quite happy with the lineup. When I saw it on paper, I thought that's not too bad. To be honest, just quickly on the lineup, I think some fans are fans of Van der Beek than they are of United. So many fucking crybabies. That's all I see.
Thank you, Connor. Connor. Yeah.
If he's good enough, he'll be in the team. So quite honestly, I was quite happy with that starting 11. The only issue is, and I said this at half time, Fred and McTominay work very well together, whereas Fred and any other partnership just doesn't seem to work. Now, he was making individual mistakes, but let's not be real. So was everyone else. You know, he wasn't the only one that was giving the ball away. Fernandes was giving the ball away. Maguire was giving the ball away. Luke Shaw was giving the ball away in the first half, improved in the second. So, yes, Fred was an obvious weak point today, but that's nothing new. We didn't learn that today. We know that he cannot play on his own there. I think him and McTominay work well, and I said this at half time. I think people are now seeing what McTominay brings when you have somebody, when him and Fred are next to each other, because like you said, you have one that sits and the other one goes, and you have that progression from deep line midfield into attack. Whereas when him and Pogba play, or him and Matic, or whoever it is, they both sit so deep, and there's a massive gap then, because Fernandes likes to play so high up against usually Cavani, but obviously Greenwood and Martial, Sancho, whoever it was today. There's a huge gap, and we just couldn't get the ball through. And Fred doesn't have the passing ability that Pogba's got to be able to play the ball over the top and to ping it wide and things like that. So yes, he had a poor first half. He did better in the second half, but I don't think he was. I think, to be honest, he's an obvious scapegoat, because there was players out there that also had poor games, but everyone just goes, Fred's the problem. Don't get me wrong. We should have been probably 2-0 down after 10 minutes. Both of those were arguably on Fred. But Connor, there were other performers out there as well that could have been.
But I think the problem is with Fred, he's such a headless chicken at times, and I understand he's a professional footballer as well. But when he makes a mistake, it's so obvious. It's such a blatant mistake where he has to track back and have to try, or he just throws a foot at it and it goes nowhere. I think with other players, with I'm just throwing Pogba in for a second, but say when Pogba does a mistake, it tends to be just a bad pass. You know what I mean? It tends to be like he's going for a 40-yard ball, which, when it happens is magnificent, but if it doesn't, it goes out of play and nothing happens. With Martial, it's either lack of finishing or he runs out of play or whatever it is. But with Fred, it's just he can't pass. He can't really tackle. It's just his main thing is to stop the passes to play.
He's better off the ball than he is.
Yeah. And I can't say, I think Fred is I was a student said, I remember it was Connor said, I can't remember, that he works really well with McTominay. The two of them work really well. And if I had a choice between the two of them to sit back there, it would be McTominay every day of the week.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for the upgrade on them. I'm not saying Sal Niguez is going to be that player. If we have him on loan to recover that, I'm that's cool, see how it goes. But I think there is an upgrade on that altogether that I think if we buy him, it won't be him, it'll be the next player after that.
Just quickly, Joe, on the back of that, sorry, Karthik, just on Fred quickly, on today's game, because that is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
What is a better option than Fred and Pop? Just out of interest, would Matic is too
slow to play against? No. That Connor, there isn't one. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Actually, Connor, I think you'll find that there is one.
Oh, here we go.
What I would say, lads,
Abdul agrees with me, by the way. If he watches this video,
we played a 4-3-3. We played a single. We played a 4-3-3, so we didn't play him as a partnership. What the problem was because Fred was so erratic. Pogba wasn't able to play in the first half. Wasn't able to play.
Exactly what I'm about to say, which is too many of our players ended up acting as the contingency for Fred and Steve.
That's kind of my point.
That's what ended up happening because you saw it after the first half an hour. Everyone started dropping in, going, "Fucking hell! If he loses this, Steve got the pace to get us." So we had no one moving forward.
Pogba had to sit deeper and deeper because of it.
He did, But don't forget, lads, and I had to come off Twitter at half time because I was fucking livid. It's a coaching issue. So so I'm playing right back and Traore burst past me. That's my fucking fault. It's not a fucking coaching issue. It's my fucking fault. If I'm playing centre half and somebody beats me in the air, it's my fucking fault. I'm sick of these fucking morons, right? Who sit on Twitter at half time blaming the coaches, blaming Ollie. There is such a thing, everybody out there, where other teams can have a better game than you. Yeah. There are other players that can outperform you. That's life. It's got fuck all to do with coaching. It's got fuck all to do with Ollie. What happened today in the first half, we didn't perform. The players out there didn't perform. Pogba didn't perform in the first half. Fred was erratic. Sure. Varane, if anyone saw Varane's post-match interview, he was like a rabbit in headlights. He said he hadn't experienced the intensity. He had a real dose of Premier League football today. Yeah. Sancho had a massive dose of what the Premier League is all about. He'd not experienced it at City. He hadn't experienced it at Dortmund. And now he's had a real dose because Sancho, for whatever reason, seems to have lost the ability to go past a player. He just seems to, he's trying to do everything right. He wants
on that, by the way, I think a lot of that is down to his teammates not yet used to how he plays.
Yes, I agree with you.
You'll see Sancho making it run behind, and they'll play it to feet, and you'll go, "What are you doing?"
Can I ask you? Sorry, go.
I was just going to finish off, but my point being that there are occasions where you can be as well coached as you like, but there are times where a team is just simply better than you. It will outrun you. It will simply outwork you. It will simply outpass you. And champions are made, by the way, everybody, by scoring that fucking one goal. Yeah. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
We won that game. We won that game. We scored that one goal. And it doesn't matter who it was. Today, we just needed that one goal and Greenwood took it for us. 100%. That is where teams are built.
Yeah. Carly, can I ask you something? I'm trying to find logic to what exactly is happening with the double pivot, and then obviously because McTominay's gone, he's gone with I think which is Ollie's preferred thing of having someone to sit behind Pogba who will be slightly deeper, and then Bruno is more of a playmaking role. Right? I think that is what he wants, but until he can have the player to do that, he has to have McTominay, he has to have Fred. So with that, do you think it is best for him to kind of implement his style of play, even if he doesn't have the players, and just kind of hoping it? I know, like, I'm not going to say hoping it works, but I'm going to use that phrase for now. Hoping it works until he finds that person to replace it, and so no one else loses that balance that eventually he's hoping to get to. Or is it better to use the players that he has to their best ability, even if it's not suiting the way he wants to play football? Does that make sense?
I think that's what we in the 1920 season. I think that's what we saw a lot of. I've liked. Hang on, I'm here now. I think in the 1920 season, I think we saw that a lot, where he tried to play what he wanted to. He tried using Andreas in that position. He tried using Jesse out wide to sort of create a bit of width, and it just wasn't happening. And I think he's realised now that he can't implement what he wants without the kind of players he wants, because he's tried it with Phil Jones, he's tried it with Eric Bailly. Today he had Raphael Varane, and the guy got an assist.
He did, yeah.
So it's one of them where sometimes you just need the personnel. You can't do it without the personnel. But I think we've got a foundation where we can play how he wants to because it's just one position that's letting us down. That's what I say.
So with going forward, it has to be the three. It has to be Pogba in a free role. It can't be Fred. It can't be it can't be McTominay on his own. We need to bring in someone. I really don't think Sal Niguez is the answer. I think he will do a good. I think he'll do a better job. Ideally, will do a better job just from the culture he's coming from. And if we get him in from a loan with not a guaranteed option to buy, I don't care if it's not a guaranteed option to buy. We have to pay. We'll say if we guarantee ourselves 40 million, we have to buy him the next season. I would prefer to pay 60 million just for that security of not having to buy him in case it doesn't work out. But I think we definitely need, and I think Solskjaer knows it as well, that specialist in there who is going to break up play, not so much protect the back four because they don't really need that protection anymore. But it's to get the ball out, let Pogba go one way, Bruno go the other, let the ball spread, and then I think Ruben Neves would be fantastic at that as well. As myself and Connor have discussed before, I think that's who we really should be after. And I think if we get that, I think we are immediately, I won't say title favorite. I kind of will say title favorites, if I'm being honest. I think we're very, very close.
Joe is right on what he was saying. I think, Kartik, you said this earlier. Pogba was dropping so deep. Him and Fred almost were running into each other at times, particularly in the first half. And then I think the commentator said it at one point, Pogba would get the ball, and the gap, but there was about 30, 40-yard gap because everyone would just run as far away as they could as possible from Pogba. So his only option was a long ball over the top, which in the first half, the space wasn't there to do it. So because Wolves would just drop deeper and deeper, and we couldn't do it. So Joe is exactly right. Pogba, I don't think, trusts Fred. He probably does in some capacity because they're all teammates. They probably all get on and everything like that. But I don't think he has the belief that I think the ball is coming out from defence.
That was affected by the first 20 minutes.
But that's where Bruno should drop 20 yards back. But what's basically should be happening is if Pogba and Fred are occupying the same segments on the pitch, for example, and there is this 40-yard gap, Bruno's got to then realise this and drop in 20 yards. So he's got to drop centrally 20 yards to receive the ball. That's what he has to do. That's what a midfield three is all about. Fred's problem today was, apart from his headless chicken and his positioning, etc., what he would do is he'd deliver the ball wherever it was, but he wouldn't then navigate himself back to the middle of the pitch where he needs to be. He'd stay out left or he'd stay out right. You've got to come back. Once you've got rid of the ball, as a defensive midfielder, you've got to come back, position yourself right in the middle of the pitch. That's where you should be. So you can react left, you can react right. He wasn't doing that. And that's why Pogba and Fred at times, out of position, were falling over each other. But the gap is where Bruno should be. The 20 yards away from Fred, away from Pogba, he should have been right in that middle, in the gap. Then you can then start your play again. So Pogba can lay it into Bruno, and he can then run off him or whatever he wants to do with it. So, but that isn't happening today.
Well, let me ask a question then, and I'll ask James because he said "fuck all" in the last 5 minutes.
He's really said "fuck." He's really earned his wages here.
He's getting a little bit shy because he's got me and Joe here. Anyway, no, I'll ask James this question because last season we said we needed a 6, right? And we all looked at a Declan Rice. We looked at Nemanja Matic and said, get a younger version of him, right? But now we've just signed Rafael Varane. So in my opinion, we don't need that kind of a central defensive midfielder. Yeah. I think we need someone who is a little bit more adventurous. So you don't need someone who's a pure defensive midfielder. You've got a deep line playmaker, which is what people seem to think Donny van de Beek can be, but he's not. Someone who's capable defensively, very defensively capable, and someone who can play the ball and progress it a bit quicker and give some solidity. He doesn't have to be that defensive guy, but give some solidity. Is that what you think, James? Or do you think it has to be a defensive midfielder? What is your opinion on it?
I completely agree with you. I think for 90% of our games this season, we're going to look to control possession, control the game, control the tempo, everything. We're going to have 60+% possession. So we need players that are going to help us control possession. And Fred definitely isn't that. McTominay probably isn't. That's why Matic did work so well when he could run. And that's why I'd go for someone like a Ruben Neves, who
I think
is passing. He's passing. Yes, he's a bit of a twat today, but moving on from that, his passing ability is phenomenal. It really is. his ability to control a game is what United need, and it's what we don't have right now. And then on the flip side of that, on games that we're not looking to control, we've seen Fred and McTominay work so well against big teams.
Yeah.
Just keep them around for those games where, a bit of rotation, it keeps everyone fresh as well. So I think as much as I'd love like a player like Ndidi, who's a defensive destroyer, whatever, I think probably Ruben Neves is a better option to go for because he's still defensively solid. If the ball gets past Bruno and Pogba, there's worse players to have in the way than Ruben Neves. Don't get me wrong, but his ability on the ball and just everything going forward for Ruben Neves will help us a lot more than say a Declan Rice or a Bissouma or an Ndidi. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Can I just say as well? Can I just say one thing on the game because I've been staying quiet for so long? I wasn't even bothered about the performance after the game because what annoyed me more was the fans' reaction to the game. There's a large group of fans influenced by a certain someone that I'm fairly sure we all know by now, who are genuinely more angry that we didn't play well than they are happy that we won. You're not a football fan. If you're right, would you rather we played incredible football for 90 minutes like Wolves did and get beaten 1-0 by what was in reality a fairly fortunate goal? Yeah. So you'd rather lose 1-0 and dominate the whole game? Is that what you're saying? Oh, you want to watch pretty football that goes nowhere?
James, I had to come off Twitter, mate. I couldn't fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
I was going to get back with someone.
I remember watching. Sorry, James, for interrupting, but I remember watching when we won the title in 2007. Us going to Craven Cottage and being absolutely destroyed. Battered. So I remember Simon Davis, I think, hit the post twice. And then some young lad came on, and
I wonder what he was called.
Can't think of it. But he scored one of the greatest goals we've ever. Well, one of the best, most iconic goals you're going to see to basically win its title. You can't win every game pretty. The fact is, we have got 3 world-class signings that are going to come in. They need time. Even Ronaldo will need time to just get themselves together. Understand the game they're playing with new players they're playing with, and it's all about, I think, for a time grinding out results. And if you can't look by that, you're a fucking arsehole.
Yeah,
and that's it.
On top of that as well, it did feel like on Twitter, especially towards the end of the game, people were actually annoyed that we'd scored, because they thought it masked the bad performance. It's like you're clearly not a United fan if you're just sat waiting to complain about this manager that you don't like. A manager that's done so much good for this club that you just don't like because he's not a big name and he's not.
You're dead right, James.
You're dead right, James. And the one thing that I keep hearing as well is we play like this a lot. This isn't the first time this has happened. But with 28 games away unbeaten, we've broken records. We came second last year. We got to finals, semi-final. He clearly isn't doing a bad job. So I'm sick of hearing this. We're playing bad. We're not doing anything. We haven't progressed. We are. I don't know how people can't see it.
The problem is
the coaching fucking comments. I'm fed up with the coaching comments.
All right, Stu, I'll stop talking.
But the problem is, okay, it's very easy for these people to be right because negativity. I don't want to say negativity is usually the right way to go because. Is Solskjaer going to win a league title? I don't know because I hope so, and I believe he has the ability to do so. I believe the players can do so, but these things can fall on a dime. You never know what way they're going to go. Okay, there's great managers in the league right now. It's probably the hardest time to win a league title is right now. Okay, and he's rebuilding a club. So the likes of knob faces who just come out constantly bashing the club, and when Solskjaer. We'll say, unfortunately, likelihood might get sacked without winning a league title. We'll say they're proved right without looking at the nuances of how much he has grown the club and he has continued to grow in the club as he is the manager right now. They prefer to do this hate, get known, get the clicks, get everything they have to do, and then say, well, I was right the whole time, wasn't I? And then they're somewhat legitimized because it's an easy thing to do to criticize. It's a hard thing to do to try find nuance and find solutions to these problems and to actually look in depth into it.
Just quickly speaking about support, there's more support on the channel by Strawberry Milk is nice. £5. What a madness!
What a legend!
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Strawberry Milk is nice.
We don't
Yes.
usually get these kind of things, so thank you so much. We'll read this comment. Van Gaal equals Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin, Schmidfield. Jose equals Fellaini and Matic. Ollie, Fred, and McTominay. Our midfield has been a joke for the last 7 years. I agree.
Well, I would ask, when was the last time? Because there's an argument you could make that our midfield hasn't been right since Roy Keane left. Now I realise that includes Premier League titles, Champions League, a couple of titles like that. Actually, comment public like this on football.
Great comment.
Yeah, fantastic, Meg.
Spot on.
Fantastic comment. Yeah. But when was the last time we had a truly great midfield?
We haven't had one for ages, have we? And the thing is, playing in midfield isn't rocket science. It's not a fine art. You do need a specialist because you need somebody who reads the game. But it isn't anything special. And you can adapt. And I've said this a lot of times. You can adapt as a professional footballer.
Yeah.
And you should want to adapt as a professional footballer. You should want to widen not only your knowledge of the game, you should want to widen how you play the game as a professional footballer. You should be striving to be the best. So we do have personnel within our squad that can sit deep in a DM. But looking at, and I was watching Ruben Neves as well today, and he was a bit of a tit on occasions, but we need him to be our tit on occasions because I think he would absolutely fit us really, really well.
So would you take him over Sal Niguez then?
Yeah, any day of the week. Look, people who are raving for Sol Niguez don't kind of understand him and where he would fit. He plays a little bit more advanced for Athletic. And what
Usually.
Usually he does.
But also hasn't played well in about 2 years.
He could come in and play.
But he's been played out of position though, Joe.
I think the people who are desperate for Saul are the same people who think Donny could do a job at holding midfielder.
That's not true. I love Saul, and I don't think that.
No, but do you really think he's the best option that we can bring in?
I'm not
the best, but that's not what I want.
I'm not desperate for Saul, but I tell you now, Donny could do a job as a 6. I can tell you that for nothing. He could, and it's all about intelligence. It's all about intelligent football. I'm not saying he could do that for the whole season,
but defensively, he would not be high though, would he?
But he doesn't need to be all the time, and this is the key. This is where people forget. When they say, "Oh, he's a defensive midfielder. He's got to win it. He's got to be an Ndidi. He's got to go in and win a tackle." Absolutely not.
No, I'm not saying that he does, but when that's needed.
Can I have a question? Can I have a question across the board?
Go on.
Would you have rathered today Fred or Donny starting in that position? Kartik and then go across. We got 2 seconds, Jim.
It depends who he's playing alongside because I would have gone
in that.
On the bake.
No. In that midfield, in Bruno.
In that midfield, I would have gone with Fred.
Okay, James.
Yeah, 100% Fred.
Connor.
Yeah, I agree, Fred.
Fred for me, Stu.
I'd have started Donny.
If you ask me, right, I get what Stu's saying, and I get that he does have the capacity to do it. But for me, if you're going to play Donny in that midfield, he's got to be next to someone like a Matic, because he can't be the sole responsibility for the defensive aspect. He's got to have someone to help him. While he can do a job, I don't think he can do it on his own.
Would we have been any worse with Donny in there instead of Fred? No.
Probably not, but no, consistency.
See, there's an argument against that. I'm going to say the argument against that is the unknown. So, like we say, would it have been worse? But the fact is, we played 90 minutes and we won 1-0. You know what I mean? So, if we put Donny in there, are we guaranteed that we're going to win?
Can I just say, I thought Fred had a better second half.
He did have a better second half.
The thing is, as well,
he was better. Yeah.
Oh my God! Hang on, sorry, we've got another fucking super chat. Strawberry milk is nice. Has gone another.
Love you. Strawberry milk is nice.
This guy is incredible. Now we have a striker. Next season we sell Henderson, Donny, Pogba. We can get any 2 midfielders in the world. Who would you get that are realistic? Right, we'll continue that discussion then. So it links to what we're talking about. Go on.
Are you going around the house or are you doing this?
Hey?
I don't know.
What are we on about?
Well, continue what you were saying.
Is that a question? Is that a question to everyone? Or
what was the question? What was the question?
Finish what I was saying.
Finish what you were saying and we'll answer that question.
I was going to say the problem is as well that people are overlooking is I get Fred's not great, but this was an uncharacteristically bad game for Fred.
Yeah,
he's never usually this bad. So on a usual day, Fred and Pogba would have worked quite well. But yeah, that's why I'd go with Fred.
But James, there's an issue that Fred isn't up to playing that central place in front of the defence.
No, he's definitely not. But
it shows that I know, I
Stuff
agree
like
with
this
you.
was
Yeah.
way worse than anything we've seen from him. And we
But
have seen some bad stuff
how
as well.
often have we seen him on his own there though?
Yeah.
And the thing was, Pogba was not supposed to. That pivot wasn't supposed to be made. Do you know what I mean? It was supposed to be Fred was there, and then Pogba had to come deeper. So it shows that hopefully, Ollie's looking at this going, okay. And that's why I think as Sounding is more likely than Ruben Neves, because if they get the loan deal with the option to buy later on, that means that money to buy is down the line. So it's probably easier to get him.
Yeah,
Would Sal be one of two then? Because you're saying that we have better options that we could go and get. Would he be one of two midfielders, like the question asks?
Oh no! If this was
No,
but also this question is different because this is like sell Henderson, Donny, and Pogba. Well,
I think he means any of them.
He plays all on his own, surely.
No, if we're selling them, first of all, Pogba will be going a free transfer. Donny, probably get 40, 50 million. I don't know in this market. Henderson, who knows? So I don't know how to answer that really, because if I could buy someone, I'd buy Pogba on a new contract. If I'm being honest, and I still would want to keep Donny if there's any option.
So out of the two that we'll sell, we'll get two of them back.
Yeah, we'll just buy them back. You know.
I've got an actual answer for you then. Does it have to be like 100% realistic? Because it's like semi-realistic, but not entirely.
Okay,
if you're about to say,
if
your answer includes Joshua Kimmich, it's not realistic.
Can I just before James speaks, can we just agree on what the fee would be for these? Because Pogba is going on a free transfer, so we're not selling.
Donny, you get about 40 mil.
We'll say 40 mil. We'll say what we paid from back, and say Henderson, he's on 5-year deals. I'd say 40, 30, 40 million. So we'll say you've got 70 and 80 million to play with on top of whatever our transfer budget would be. We'll say you have 200 million to play with then. Would that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
My go-to one is Frankie de Jong, purely because Barca probably do need to sell someone.
Oh, skint.
What do you mean bang on about him?
You bang on about Frankie de Jong.
Because Barcelona are skint. We could get him for nothing.
Yeah, to be fair, I do agree.
That's why I mentioned it.
If we have a real bargain, if we have a real positive season this year, whether it's winning trophies or just being seen as a club like that can attract the likes of Varane and Sancho and Ronaldo, there's no reason why we can't. And he goes, we'll say Frankie de Jong goes for maybe 60 million, because Barcelona, they have a tough Champions League group. They could easily not get Champions League football this year, but they probably will scrape in. If all these things fall apart, we can get Frankie de Jong for 60 million, I'd say. And if that could happen, I would take that in a heartbeat.
But who's your other one then, James?
Well, I'll go Camavinga. I think Frankie de Jong and Camavinga as a partnership would have the perfect balance of defence and attacking output.
Yeah, he's still too young though. Like he'd probably end up going on loan as well, Camavinga.
Am I the only one that I'm only saying this because James mentioned Camavinga, that doesn't really see it just because of the amount of good midfielders we've got in the academy? It doesn't seem feasible for me.
You put that on Twitter the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, you've got the likes of Garner, Levitt,
If I'm being honest, I don't think
Hannibal, all these
Levitt
players
makes
coming
it.
in. It just doesn't make sense to sign another young player for 20, 30 million. I don't know.
It's a great point, Connor.
If I'm being honest, I don't think two of them make it. And I have a feeling Galbraith won't make it, which I don't want to happen. I don't think he'll make it. And I don't think Levitt will. But I love Dylan Levitt.
I agree
so I
with
think
you.
There's a slot to happen.
There's not all of them are going to make it. To be honest, the only one I can see at the minute, two maybe, Garner at a push. But Hannibal is probably the only other one that I can see making it out of that midfield kind of group that are coming through. But that was just the point I was going to make. It's like I said, we seem to be going after, rightfully so in some areas, but we're going after a load of young midfielders, or that seems to be the shortlist. I think we need a midfielder that's good or top quality now, rather than going for a young option that's going to be good in 3-4 years, because I think we've got that in our own academy. We don't need to go and spending money elsewhere for that. That's just my opinion on it anyway.
Right, we've talked about football for too long now. We're 49 minutes into the show. What the fuck's going on? I'm sanctioning suspensions for all of you. This is all.
I broke my chair.
You what?
I broke my chair. Oh,
great timing. Great timing.
I fixed it. No, I literally just fixed it. Yeah, it was great timing.
You're not that heavy, are you?
It's a really shit Aldi chair, I think. Not Aldi.
You know what? It must be all those. You know what broke your chair, Joe? It's all those pounds that we've been putting on from these super chats. Thank you.
That's a fucking segue. That is a fucking segue.
Hey, James, you need to take some notes, lad. What else has been going on in the world? Stu, tell us about your achievement today.
Yesterday, we
that's the song by the Beatles.
Yes, we.
That's from Liverpool. You love them, don't you?
Hang on, while you're speaking, let me get the picture up.
No, I never did. We took part in a charity six-a-side tournament yesterday for Alzheimer's, and we were successful.
Do you play football?
Yeah, not bad for an old man, really. I was the oldest on our team by about 30 years, I think. Nah, not that much, but not that much. But yeah, no, we won, which was raised money.
Oh wow!
There he is. There he is. Look at him on the far left there. That's the slim. Look how trim I am. That is Ronaldo.
Centre half. Look at him.
This is a no comment. Are you standing like? Is someone taking a penalty and you're just like shit housing the rules here?
No, that is Ronaldo-esque physique. That is gentleman.
How many Ronaldos are you talking about?
Wait, I'm talking about.
I'm talking about. Oh no.
It was in Madeley in Telford, and I think we raised. Yeah, I think overall the tournament raised about 3,000 or 4,000 for Alzheimer's.
That's class.
It was great.
Absolutely class. Congratulations.
And we were winners. So thanks for everybody involved. And it was a great day actually. Lovely weather, and I was outstanding. So just to get that out, just to get that out. You could tell, you could just see the Man Mountain at the back, the Rock. That's all we need.
Did you just call yourself the Rock?
No, because I don't like him. He's a bit of a tool, isn't he?
Because that's a trademark. You can't actually say that. We've been demonetized now, Stu.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Is he a?
Yes, Bi-Fi's a fucking poser. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it was a lovely day. Really, really great day and really great course. So, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Unreal. Congratulations. Great work, Stu.
There's lots of people watching.
Not bad for an Olden. Not bad for an Olden.
Stu, shut up. I'm trying to say thank you to our viewers.
Okay,
thank you for joining us, everyone. There's loads of you today. Loads of you in the comments as well. Make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you comment as well. Tell us what you want us to talk about, because this is free for all section of All for United Uncut. This is what makes the show what it is.
Let's talk about Aprilia getting on the MotoGP podium.
Oh, fucking hell, Stu. No one likes MotoGP.
Give a shit. Fuck you, Connor, and fuck you, Stu. It's not a sport. It's not a sport.
Connor doesn't like
because
MotoGP.
No, you can't. You put up tweets the whole time, and
it's not me. It's James.
No, it's not. I like them because I like you, Connor. But like Jesus Christ, I couldn't shiv again about MotoGP.
Joe, we're not. Connor likes F1. That's what he goes on about.
It's all fucking cars. Who cares?
Let's talk about Verstappen was crying last week. So please, can I have the points today? I don't want to race. Please let me have them.
Stu, I guarantee you that's top quality banter, but I don't give a fucking shit about
it's great banter.
I'm sure on other chats you'll be having people in howlings right now. I don't know what that means. That might as well have been Swedish, okay? I don't know what you're talking about, unless you're talking about football or something that isn't anything to do with racing.
Let's talk about how brilliant did today's kit look.
It did, yeah. It looked a lot like this.
Fucking awesome, didn't it? Yeah. It looked the fucking bollocks. I don't like the socks that much, but they should have been plain white with the reds. But but apart from that, yeah, look.
I saw that, Kartik. All right. Should have been plain white.
Did what? Sorry, Connor.
Did anyone see our very own Benny in the crowd today? Saw him a couple of times on the.
His fucking tattoos. I saw them on the thing. He put it in the group.
I saw him on the bus. He was.
That's twice in 2 weeks now.
He was on Sky Sports, wasn't he?
He's a very easy man to spot. Do you know what I mean?
Just look for a big man with a big beard.
A big fucking beard. Do you know what I mean?
And he's the only person in 2021 still wearing snapbacks as well, so that helps.
And he wearing what?
Oh no!
Oh, Stu, come on.
Stu doesn't know what a snapback is.
Well, I'm all in.
It's a sexual term, Stu.
Oh, fuck! I don't wear caps.
Someone in the comments explain what a snapback is.
I don't fucking wear caps. I'm too fucking smart for that. You know.
You showed him, Stu.
Yeah, too right.
Complimenting your own intelligence. That's
I like to keep what little hair I've got left on my head, and if I put a cap on, that could be fucking it. It could be gone. So I like to keep what little hair I've got, and a cap doesn't shrink me.
If a cap blows your hair off, you need to be worried about the wind, mate.
What? Trust me, I am.
Right, let's answer Brown Knight's comment.
I'll wear a fucking band over it, just to
Shut
keep
up
it.
about your hair, Stu.
Sorry.
Right,
You've
what
only
we
got
ta-
3 left. You mentioned it 4 times.
Yes,
Right,
I
let's
have.
answer
Every
Brown Knight's
follicle.
comment 'cause I'm
Every
like,
follicle
Stu,
counts.
shut up!
All right.
Honestly, I'm trying to answer. Fucking read a question here. Right, James, don't take notes on that bit. Don't tell your guests to shut up. Let's talk about ideas for the Cristiano unveiling video. This should be fun. Go on.
All of us masturbating.
No video. No video.
No, I meant what's in the video.
No video.
Again,
He comes out on the 11th. He gets unveiled with Fergie.
Is anyone else finding it hilarious that it's on a 3 p.m. on a Saturday, so no one's going to be able to
They're
broadcast?
moving that 100%.
They're moving that.
Oh,
100%.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Isn't there a free slot on Sunday
Think
afternoon?
so. Yeah.
Is there? If it is, fucking hell, I would have
I
bought
am
myself
so
a ticket.
excited. I am so fucking excited.
They're
I don't think people really understand how important the signing is.
Oh, honestly.
Like there was no downfall to this. I'm actually surprised Cavani is sticking around, if I'm being honest.
He doesn't give a fuck, does he? He's getting paid.
No, but I genuinely thought what was going to happen when he had the whole thing with the international stuff. I thought his contract was going to be voided for the second year. I thought it was going to be a buyout, being like, okay, this is what we're doing. You're saying you want to do this, fine. We'll give you like 3 or 4 million. You can go to Uruguay now. You can go to Boca Juniors, whatever you want to do now. But I thought that's the way it's going to happen. But I think it's fantastic to do them at the club. And because, again, it's not my money. If Cavani wants to sit on the bench and then come on when he's needed, that's fantastic firepower. And for Greenwood to learn off the two of them, that's amazing.
James, what was that just on your screen?
It was actually a program from the game that I was covering at the weekend. Because
what game is that?
Me.
What game? Baseford. It's called Bradford, you idiot.
Did they win?
No, Drew. Came back from 2-0 down to draw 2-2. It was a good game.
I was playing
in the Midlands Prem.
No, they're Northern Premier, so two.
Oh, they're
divisions below
Northern
the
Premier,
conference.
rather.
So, lads, I was actually playing a game today. Thanks for asking me. Say
that again.
I was playing a game today, Stockholm Gales.
Did you win?
It's actually a fucking class story. And you're all an answer here.
So no, we didn't.
Hold on. You're gonna find out at the end, okay?
Because you're talking to a winner. That's all I'm saying. So if you didn't win,
God.
we don't need the story, do we?
Weren't you playing against people with Alzheimer's? Or was
Joe. Quickly move on.
Yeah, feel free to retract, Joseph.
Quickly move on.
Feel free to retract.
Sorry. Quality banter.
Yes, banter.
It was just banter.
Quickly move on.
I am quickly, but we're playing a game against our closest rivals. They're top of the table. We were second, and half the lads that we usually play couldn't make it today, so we were like terrified of how the game would go. I was playing right back and then centre back for a lot of the game. Stu, I used your words of wisdom to help me through it.
Absolutely.
We went 2-0 down pretty much immediately. But okay, and then a bit of shithousery, and we took it back to 2-2. All right, and then we found out our goal at halftime because our goalkeeper who usually would be there couldn't play, and the guy who was in goals had never played in goals before. All right, and then came back out. They went 3-2 up through a stupid mistake. We went 3-3. They went 4-3 up through a stupid goalkeeping mistake. And they had figured out that our goalkeeper wasn't exactly a goalkeeper. And that suddenly became our favor because they were just doing pot shots and nothing went in. And we went to 4-4. But then last 2 minutes left, my brother Cormac gives away a penalty, takes a guy down inside the box, penalty given. And I remember there's a famous story of Packy Bonner was the goalkeeper for Ireland during the World Cup. You remember him, Stuart? And he played for Celtic. But famously, we beat Romania to get to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. And but that week they did a penalty shootout competition, and Niall Quinn is saved every penalty. So it's like a fable where when the penalty shootout was coming up, some of the lads were like, shouldn't we put Quinny in goals? Because he it's a lot better at this, but then decided not to do it. And I said to the manager, I was like, here, take him out. Put someone else. There has to be someone else that we can put in. And he was like, I will not do that. He's German. And they took the penalty and he saved it. He saved the penalty. It was Roy, what's it? Roy of that fucking thing.
Roy of the Rovers.
Roy of the Rovers stuff. And and the manager turned to me like with dead eyes and was like, you told me to take him out. That's literally how it sounds. So it ended 4-4, but it was an unbelievable game.
Well, it sounds like to me, though, you've got to question the centre half. I don't know about you, lads. I mean, crikey.
Hey, all right. I am top class at centre half, right? I'm a ball playing centre half. I'll stop anyone. I'll throw a dig if I need to. You know, I know exactly what to do and when to do it.
Good lads. Good lads.
Joe, I've got a question for you then. Is it not weird walking around Sweden? You're walking around Sweden and everyone around you speaks better English than you do.
Oh, it's like, James, that is more of a fact than you know. It's almost like embarrassing. When I'm speaking to anyone, I work behind the bar and people come to me speaking like fluent Swedish and I go, can you do it in English? And they speak better English than me immediately. And I'm like, you're all so attractive and more intelligent than me, but they're less crack.
I've got a fantastic question here in the comments. Hang on.
Ugly bear.
Let's have a good laugh at this.
Tune in tomorrow, 1 o'clock. There is a weekend review.
That's not a question. If you swap R and Arsenal around, that's a true statement.
Well done, James. Well done, James. I bet you feel proper smart now, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Is Fred Woodward in the know here?
Out of context. There we go. He's just dropped his.
Hey, Fred, hang on a minute, Fred. I need to know.
He's in regular contact with Ben. Happen. He runs the out of context account with Ben.
Yeah. Well, he must be doing the out of context account. Yeah.
How did he know that Ben was dropping in? And Stu, how did you know? Because I didn't tell you that.
I didn't know. I'm just going on about that.
Is Ben dropping in?
Yes. Well, you knew that, Joe. So shut up.
I literally did not. I should read the message.
Yeah, you really should read the WhatsApp.
Yeah. My phone's over there. But
let me tell you, he reads every single United Stand message. Let me tell you that.
How would you know, James?
We don't talk about that.
I'm in there with you.
Oh, that's going to create some politics. Anyway, our Arsenal getting relegated.
You know what? Part of me wishes they don't, but just are so in the battle. I think being in the
Mikel Arteta, they will get relegated.
No, they're not getting relegated. No, like
I think they're definitely not getting relegated. But I think there is a.
You can't be so sure. People are saying that about Chelsea, like that year.
There's a genuine chance they finish bottom half, like a very, very good chance.
I think they finished.
I think they'll be bottom half.
I think they finished 12th.
If the Premier League wasn't so bad in terms of you've got Norwich, Burnley, those kind of teams down there, then I'd probably say Arsenal could go down. But there's just worse teams with no.
No, but are we forgetting that season of second spell Mourinho at Chelsea,
where they came 10th.
They were literally on their way to getting relegated, and if he wasn't sacked, they would have got relegated.
I don't know if they would have, but
they would have.
Don't want to point out the obvious, but there's still like 35 games to go.
Oh, Stu! Come on,
man. Too sensible for this.
Hold on. With Arsenal, okay, they have spent the most, which I find hilarious. They bought a relegated twice goalkeeper
to field the same team.
Yeah. Ben White.
Oh shit! He's here now. Right, Mason Greenwood. What a great
yes, Benjamin.
Viva Ronaldo! Viva Ronaldo! Running down the way. Oh, mate.
I can't believe you just violated James like that and just shoved James to one side while playing goes in the middle.
I think there was an elbow to the face as well.
I've made way for him and he declared himself as God a few weeks ago. I can't make complaints.
He did actually, less talking about me violating James, please, the better. I do not want to end out.
That's best for the WhatsApp group.
That's for the WhatsApp.
How did Fred Woodward know you were joining? That's the biggest question.
Yeah. I'll put it on Twitter, mate.
Oh, did you?
It's a big announcement.
I thought I would tell my loving audience that I was going to be here. Can I say something? I've been listening in and out to you guys, and I think you agree. It's on today's game. Sorry, sensible Karthik. I'm really sorry. I've been holding this in for now, so I want to let it rip. I don't understand why everyone's saying we played badly today.
We did.
No, we didn't. We didn't play badly at all today. Not at all. I thought we actually played quite well. I think we managed the game well. I think we looked like an unfit side, and I think like we looked like a team that was 3 games into the new season, playing away at home to a tricky team. But I think if you watched Wolves against Spurs, Spurs got annihilated against Wolves. Wolves were brilliant that whole game. Now, if you go back and watch how we played against them versus to how Spurs played against them, also, if you really are into your statistics, go and have a look at the stats. United today played really well against a good, rejuvenated Wolves side. And a 1-0 win away to Wolves is not about... Yeah, you walk off, Karthik. You don't deserve to be on it because you said that we didn't play well. I thought United actually played really well today. And do you know the other thing that I was impressed with? People keep going on about Varane. Stu, I think you mentioned it, about the fact that I thought he looked shaky in that first half. I was not worried one bit when Wolves were coming at us because Traore's predictable. I don't think Jimenez is there. And also, I think they're Traoré, so I'm probably murdering his name. Very young, very wet behind the ears. Like, he's not trustworthy. Yeah, looks really good. Don't get me wrong.
Looks good,
but I just don't think United played badly today, especially if you rewind the clock and look to some of our away draws / 1-0 wins last season. I thought we looked assured today. I thought the goal was inevitable in the second half. And I thought we played well. And I think even if you go back, and I had a look at some of the statistics from the game, and I hate doing shit like this. United dominated possession. Compared to the amount of shots that Wolves had last week, it was half, and they annihilated Spurs. It was also half as many on target. They only had 6 on target. 2 were the double save from De Gea. They created nothing, yet they were this much better side that everyone's saying. Yeah, exactly. And I get it. United didn't create much, but you're not going to create much against a Wolves side that's solid, compact, defending at home in front of their fans for only the second time this year. I personally didn't think that we played that badly. And I also think 7 points from these first 3 games, I think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Ben, I agree to an extent. I think we were functional. I think we managed the game quite well. And the fact that we obviously go to the David De Gea save as being like that big moment, but I can't really think of any other time they really split us open sorry, the opening 2 minutes when Wan-Bissaka cleared off the line. But
opening 10,
yeah.
But I also think, though, Joe, on that, though, but my point is the team performance wasn't bad. I think the way we played wasn't bad. Fred Woodward's comment here, first half. First half was poor because we had too many individual mistakes. Again, similar to Southampton.
Which is what we were saying,
the team performance. It was Fred, sloppy as you like. Yeah. It was James not composed enough on the ball. It was Pogba dwelling on it too long. It was Mason not making the right runs in behind. It was just individual errors here and there in the moments that matter. But as a team, we didn't play badly today. I don't think Spotty set us up wrong. I don't think we played bad. I think we played really well today.
Yeah, no, right. But everything you've just said, Ben, apparently is a coaching issue. That's all I've read today. Well, that's all I've read.
I couldn't believe it, mate. I couldn't believe it. Johnny FX, right? And he's a guy who I talk to sometimes, so I'm not going to come on here and diss him because I've also said we shouldn't be doing that. I don't think we should do. I sent him a message afterwards. I said, mate, why have you gone live after we've won and asked for the managers to be sacked? I don't get it. I need to send Charlie a message as well. This isn't me calling him out. I love Charlie. I think some of the stuff he says is great. But for him to put out a tweet saying I wasn't happy with today's win, we won. Like, I'm sorry if I'm just bred differently to other football fans. We won. I was fucking ecstatic. Like, I was so happy that we won. I was screaming. Like, I don't get some of the shift in the fan base that can't be happy when we win because they don't think the performance is there. I actually thought the performance was there today. And also on top of that, how fucking good is Varane? How good is Varane?
You hit the nail on the head earlier, Ben, when you said when they were attacking later in the game. Last season, would you remember when we were 1-0 up away at Burnley? And they were, I think it was Burnley, when they were attacking us in concert. How worried I was when the balls were...
I remember, Connor, when we were 6-2 up against Leeds, I was terrified they were going to come back. Do you know what I mean?
There was one situation in the game today where I think Adama took on our fullback and Varane came across and it was on the edge and it was just a simple squared ball and we were to score. And I was thinking, if that was Victor Lindelof, not only does he not get there, but that also leads to a goal. But Varane was so assured.
What I
also,
liked about
Karthik,
Varane,
that's nothing against. Sorry, Stu, and I think you're just about to say what I'm about to say. I'm going to take the words out of your mouth because you say this every week. It's football intelligence. There was 1 minute into the game, Traore skipped past Fred and he was running at Varane, and Varane positioned his body perfectly, so Traore couldn't play it right, and also he knew that Traore wasn't going to run past him because he was giving him a couple of yards and backing off. When Stu harps on about footballers' intelligence, that's where it is. Justin Varane, just watch Varane today. That's what footballing intelligence is. And that's what Ronaldo's going to bring to us as well, by the way. Forget about how great he is as a goal scorer. Greenwood today, and this isn't me dissing him, is a young lad who's amazing. But the amount, and this is, by the way, this is my quirk with Mbappe as well, that he wants to leave PSG when he could learn from Messi for a year. I would never get that. I don't understand that whatsoever. Like, Greenwood is going to learn. Guys, Greenwood's this good now. By the way, again, we can have this other debate another time if you want. Greenwood starts over Rashford every day of the week for me. And if Sancho's playing, Ronaldo's playing, the front line is Sancho, Greenwood, and Ronaldo, without a doubt.
I'm glad you said that, Ben, because I get abused if I say that. So
Rashford's had an injury. Rashford's a great player, but he's got to play his way back in. It's as simple as that.
But isn't that fantastic? We have this argument. Isn't that fantastic? That we can say that we have every position. There is someone that can come in. At least across the front line.
Do you know something? Greenwood, bless him.
Hang on, just before you say what you say, Stu. Let me just answer Charlie here. Yes, there's lots to analyse and improve on, and you have to be perfectionist to win trophies. But we're not coaching the team, so we don't need to do that. As fans, we enjoy the result, we get behind the team, and we just take the result as it comes. If I was a fan and I was also part of the coaching staff, then yes, I will analyse every little thing and go, you know what? No, we need to improve that. Okay, in training, I'll go and sort it. But I'm just a fan. I can have my opinion and go, yeah, we weren't perfect and we could do better.
Could I also spin that, Karthik? Oh, and I'm going to message Charlie anyway. What we all forget as well with Twitter, and I know it a lot because of the profession I'm in and what I've done and what I've learned being on this platform, is that no one can see, and Charlie, this isn't just aimed at you, this is aimed at everyone. No one can see us all at full time going, yes, get in there. Come on, United. All we can see is the fact that one of us, or we have, or people have, whoever it is, decide to then go to Twitter and go, I'm not happy with that. Oh, I didn't like this. I didn't like that. So it's not an open book. It's like when some people say, are you pissed off at me over text? Because some people are short texters. It's like, no, I'm not pissed off at you. This is just how I text. Like, do you know what I mean? It's one of those. And I think it's really difficult because I know, knowing Charlie, he's a match-going fan and how much he loves United. And I know how happy he is that you won the game today. But unfortunately, because of the way that football Twitter is at the moment, with negativity and the way we're all questioning on like, this is what I've said to you all the time, Karthik. Fuck doing a tactical review because I just don't get it.
Yeah,
you win, lose or draw. James doesn't do a tactical review. That's what James does. You win, lose or draw. The real value in tactics and analysis is before a game because that's when you learn about your opposition. And if you go back and watch our tactical preview going into the Wolves game, listen to everything Abdel said. Listen to everything Stu said. Listen to everything and the way James conducts that show. It's exactly what happened today on the pitch. And I don't know why everyone's surprised and why everyone's forgotten how good Wolves are. Teams points against Wolves. That Wolves team today, I think, beats Liverpool.
Ben, I don't think I think this result will only be more to us because I think people are looking at it going, well, they've lost the first two games, obviously 1-0 both times. But when they find their stride, it could be 6-7 games in. This Wolves team is going to be really, really difficult to break down. They're going to be pushing. Maybe top 6 might be too soon for them this season, considering how they're starting.
Top 10.
But when they find their feet, like, it's going to be such a tough place to go, and we're going to be looking back at this victory, going, "This is huge."
When we're in May and we'll celebrate the trophy. Do you remember Wolves away?
It's true, that is. And I wanted to touch on Greenwood as well because his goal today.
Here we go.
Careful.
It's very, very similar. It's about what I've been talking about, how he comes in better off the wings and scores.
He's got 3 out of 3, Stu. He's at number 9 now.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Baby.
What I'm hoping, because he's obviously left and right, what I'm hoping is that Ronaldo can just give him that aerial instinct, can just show him where to position yourself.
He's 19, don't forget.
Well, he's perfect. He should be a sponge.
He's a sponge. And that's what I've been. That's what everyone seems to say that he is.
Talking about footballing sponges, by the way, did anyone notice how much better Wan-Bissaka was in the second half? I thought it was immense in the second half. Bits and bobs, by the way. Yeah, sorry, Connor. Sorry for stealing your thunder.
I'm renaming my savings account.
A bit like Belgium stole the thunder of a Lewis Hamilton win today, but we won't go there, shall we? But shout out to Bob's.
In fact, it was the thunder that stole it.
Yeah, literally. Shout out to Bob's for jumping in as well. Completely agree with it. Like we handled Traore really well in that second half, to the point where he got taken off, and he was like Messi in the first half.
And by the way, bits and bobs, Rangers were lucky to beat Celtic today, just in case you were wondering about that.
They absolutely were not.
Yeah, I was going to say, sorry, on Wan-Bissaka, I think, and if you watch at the end of the game, look at the comments, I think Varane helped Wan-Bissaka a lot today in that second half, and he helped him a lot at half-time.
Second half,
Ollie came out and said that at half-time, Varane was brilliant, talking to the players about his learnings of the first half and how then we pushed forward. And then at full-time, if you had seen the hug that Wan-Bissaka and Varane had, I don't know if you captured the footage, but they were celebrating like they'd achieved something between the pair of them in that second half. And I think, again, put young players, we all forget the age Wan-Bissaka is. We took him out of Palace straight into playing for United in the Premier League. Him learning off of Varane, different levels. There's levels to this. And like I say, I again, sorry, I've gone on a lot, but I'm ranting and raving a little bit. I was really happy with that performance today.
Did you hear Varane's post-match interview?
Yes.
I thought it was brilliant because he understood straight away. I said that he'd had a dose of the Premier League today, and he had. I think all he spoke about was speed, didn't he? Spoke about aggression, and he wasn't quite. You could tell he wasn't ready for it. But I agree. I thought he was a rock. I think he was Colossus today. Him and Maguire. I think it'd be great. Well, no, I questioned the Varane signing.
Yes, you did.
No, I questioned it based on games like today, based on what Chris Wood did to the Leeds centre halves lunchtime. Based on those types of players. And I think Varane answered a big question for me today. So I've said it before, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I wasn't saying I'm wrong, but he almost admitted that he had a bit of a wake-up call, but he handled his wake-up call perfectly. I just wanted to make that point because I thought he was great today. I really did.
What an introduction, though. What an introduction for all three of our players. And the start to the season, we've had a bit of everything already in the first 3 games. I just think for fitness, for where we're at, I'm so it's Sweden, mate. Internet's awful over there. It's nearly as bad as wherever you are, Karthik.
Well, I haven't had a lag yet, so
you've not had a lag.
You have.
Shut up, James.
But I don't know. Obviously, we can always improve, but for where we're at, where we are in the season, and also, by the way, we're going for a league title on these tricky Reds, of course, Karthik, 21 and 22. You've got to take it game by game, and ultimately, if we compare this season to last season, already we're 4 points better off. So what's there not to be happy about going into the international break?
And Phil Jones hasn't even played yet.
No, but I love that. By the way, I love that rant he had at Rio Ferdinand.
It's coming. Trust me. That interview tells me it's coming. It's coming.
Jones in the 6. Jones in the 6. Who'd have thought it? Eh?
West Ham in the cup. Wait for it. West Ham in the cup.
Could you imagine if they had an interview for the managerial role at Manchester United and Carter was like he could apply for it, and he was like, What would you do to this United team, Karthik? And it's like, well, let me tell you.
Let me tell you a story.
And then he gets a tactics board out.
Phil Jones in the 6.
Trust me, West Ham.
West Ham in the League when Guardiola put Messi in the false 9 into it. It's going to have that sort of effect on Man United.
West Ham
don't make his brain explode, James.
West Ham in the cup. Phil Jones is going to play, and he might just play in the 6. That's what I'm saying.
Just imagine can you imagine the reception he'll get when if he does take the field?
Brendan, thank you.
Who's Brendan? Come on.
I don't know what you're on about, Stu. Phil Jones, if he walks out in front of Old Trafford, he's going to get one of the biggest cheers out of everybody.
That's what I mean, yeah. Especially if he walks out without crutches.
Just not for his testimonial if he doesn't play between now and then.
6 weeks. Okay, fine. Phil Jones in 6 then. Fine. We'll wait 6 weeks then.
Thoughts on Martial?
James, notes.
I thought he did all right. To be fair.
Cameo was good, yeah.
Yeah, I really haven't enjoyed watching Martial.
Was that his last game?
But I thought he did very well today when he came on. I'm happy to admit. I'm not a fan of Martial. I hope so, but we move on from that.
I think
Martial's last game.
Not last game, but I mean,
do you know, I don't think it's his last game, but to put a sensible head on it just for the minute, with what we've actually got. So I know I shouldn't be sensible, Karthik. Sorry, we've gone past that.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about that.
Okay. All I'll say is he does offer us an income stream. There is money to be made with Martial if the powers that be decided we needed to refill the coffers. But I liked him today. I thought he showed a lot of spirit, a lot of determination, a lot of guts, and I talk about that a lot. So I was, if we could keep him.
Talking about moving players on, do you want my ITK scoop that I've got?
Go on, yes. We all want it.
I've not told you anything.
Shall I say it?
Yes.
Well, Karthik sent me a text earlier on. I had a message from one of the guys who works at again, it's not reliable. I'm not even going to say that I've got an internet scoop or whatever, but someone who I know at MEN, and they said to watch Dan James.
Okay.
Ahmad's injury, he's not going to Feyenoord by the looks of it. If they do, it'd be an agreement for him to go later on in the season. He got an injury at the end of training on Friday. So it looks like the Feyenoord move's not going to work now. And they've said, watch Dan James because United need to move someone out. So I think Dan James, and today's performance wouldn't have helped him. I think Dan James would go on loan. And I think it says a lot that he brought Dallo on in that wing position. And Dallo can cover there. He can do a defensive job there. He's played him there as well in his first season, if you remember right, when Ollie came in off the back of Mourinho. He played Dallo at the right wing, coming for the bench a few times. I think we'll see Dan James go out on loan before
someone like
transfer window.
Leeds, Southampton.
I think it'll be Brighton.
Yeah, I think
be a good move that Brighton would. Be a good move.
Brighton.
Yeah, be a good move that. I mean, we do need to move somebody else out, and maybe, like you say, Dallo's not going to Dortmund. Perhaps, maybe might.
Is it only me that would like I'd like to see Dan James go to Leicester. To be honest, the way that they play, they need a winger as well because at the minute they're playing all Brighton on the wing. I know it's not likely, but I think Brighton would be a good option for him. But if you're talking about loans, I think he'd do better off at a Leicester. I know they are interested, whatever the fuck that means in today's market, but yeah, I don't know. I just like to see him over there. Leicester need a winger. I said they're sticking all Brighton out there at the minute because they don't have anyone else. So I don't know. I just like to see him over there. And to be honest, like you just said there about Ahmad, I do agree we need to loan. But do we need to? Here's my question then. Do we need to loan him out or do we need to sell him? Do people think he's had enough chances yet or not?
Problem in for getting what we probably would want for him between now and the end of the window. I think the way that he's being pushed to people now, or the way that he will come across to people now with what's happened to Ahmad is an opportunity stopgap for a year, or an opportunity to show what he's worth for a year. I think you're going to find it very difficult at the end of the window, like now, to be able to get 20 to 30 million for Dan James is what is the very least we should be recouping, by the way. If we talk about Lingard being a 30 million pound player, not trying to say that Dan James is better than Lingard, but when you look at ages, when you look at the fact that Dan James was actually in the Manchester United team and squad last season, I think you've got to be looking for a little bit more for Dan James, to be honest. Lingard's 29 years old and he's going to be a gap for someone for 2 or 3 seasons. Dan James is a 6, 7, 8 year player potentially still at a very good level for a West Ham or a Leicester. So I don't think we'll sell him. I think he'll go on loan. I don't think Lingard's going to go anywhere. It looks like West Ham are about to sign someone else and there wasn't really anyone else interested. So yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it'd be James. I do think James will go out on loan now.
Apparently, oh nice, yeah, I'll leave. Apparently, David Moyes and Jesse Lingard are having a meeting this evening. I saw that on United Report on Twitter.
Are you invited?
Yes. It's the collective James of this world are all going to meet. David
when you say
Moyes,
they're having a meeting this evening, have they had a meeting this evening, or they having like an 11 o'clock meet up in Cobham Services for a chat and a meal?
I didn't read too far. Just like it came up as a tweet while we were live, so I just looked at it quickly because I was so interested in what Joe had to say. It's literally on United Report on Twitter.
Why should we believe you? Have you ever said anything credible?
No, he's not.
Did you see that Twitter exchange? Did you see that Twitter exchange where they were saying Aston Villa might be in for Axel Witsel for 5 million?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Someone replied like, "This is absolute nonsense." Someone said, "What's your source?" And in the bloke's header, he's literally the assistant manager at Dortmund.
yeah.
That's quite funny.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's a good comeback. That is.
Yeah, it was top. Yeah.
Right, I think I'm going to wrap this show up now because
Yeah, I need to drive home.
Right, everyone,
Sorry,
thank you for
can I
joining
plug?
us.
Let me plug the weekend
Go on.
review
Go
tomorrow
on.
at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, I'll be watching. I'll be watching.
Yes, it'll be a good one. And 6 o'clock Wednesday, big show with Mr. J Widge. It's going to be a big show with J Widge. It's going to be a big show with Mr. J Ridge.
I suddenly lost all motivation after this. Just hearing that.
James, just for the benefit of the viewers, what do you call Ben?
Papa,
Ben.
Daddy. Big Daddy.
It depends on how intoxicated I am, to be fair.
Fred
Well,
Woodward
depends
put
what
that
day-
up.
It doesn't. It depends what day of the week it is.
Oh dear.
Oh,
In all seriousness, though, James, as you said, you've lost all motivation. Is that because you spent an hour and 24 minutes on a show with Karthik, or?
Yeah, because
No.
I've just been showing him up with all my segues. You've missed them all, Ben.
To be fair,
Segues.
it's been 1 hour 24. Joe bullying me for no reason, as always. It's really getting to me.
And
Don't
he
you just love the
left.
fact Joe's back?
No, I'm
I
glad
never
he's
bully you,
gone.
do I? I should start sticking up for you, James. I never bully you, mate.
That's
As
all right.
the old man
All
here,
right.
I should start looking after you, shouldn't I, pal?
It's all right.
Shut up,
Strong,
Stu.
independent woman.
Right.
Grandpa Stu.
Grandpa
Stu,
Stu.
are you wearing woody slippers, Stu?
No, I don't wear slippers. I'm resting my feet
Here we
after
go. He wears
after,
bricks.
after yesterday's man of the match or man of the tournament performance, I'd say.
Oh my God! Bore
Shut
me
up, Stu.
later.
It
just didn't happen, did it? You can so tell looking at the picture, you're the substitute. You can so tell by looking at the picture you're on the bench. You can just tell.
No need
Stu,
to.
stop lying.
No
Stop
need
You're
for
on the
that.
end of the picture. You're not even in the middle.
Yeah.
Absolutely no need for that. You
Even
give the
Ashley
rest of
Cole was closer to the Roma squad when he had that picture taken than you are to your teammates.
You let the rest of the team take the limelight, don't you? After you've done all of the work, right? You let the rest of the team take the limelight. That's what you do. You stand
Yeah, don't I
on
know
the
it,
end.
Stu? Don't I know it?
You know,
I'm outnumbered here. I've got them all around me.
Yeah.
It's like the troops.
I did look like a bit of a spare part. I don't like going in the middle of photos. I just don't like it.
Have you
Do
got
you
it
know?
on here? Have you
You
got it
know,
on
yeah.
here? No.
Do
No,
you
wait,
not
It looked
like
like to me, Stu, that you were
I've
playing
deleted
red
it.
ass and you
Stu,
just finished.
Stu,
Oh,
you
no.
just said you don't like being in the middle of photos. What are you doing?
Yeah, so thanks. Yeah, very much.
Karthik, can you add the picture again? Because I spotted something on the picture just before we go, right?
Hang on.
See if you can check it out.
I can't.
If you
I
can add it
can't.
quickly and put it on. You need to have a look at Stu's socks.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, yeah.
Hang
I'll tell
on,
you
let
what
me
that
find the
is.
picture
I'll tell you
again.
what it is.
No, don't tell what it is. I'm going to full out call you for what you are, Stu, with what you're doing with your socks there.
Hang on, I
Because
need to.
it's proper poser mentality, if you ask me.
Right,
Only a
right.
poser would do that to their socks.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just.
Oh my god, I'm just. I'm just.
Have a look.
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah, I knew you were going to bring up the socks.
By the way, there's like 20 people watching right now. This is so worth watching. Let me tell you. Hit subscribe, by the way, and hit like.
Yeah. Damn.
Right.
You can't zoom in though. That's the only annoying thing.
No, that's good. That's good.
Right.
You can
Have
see
a
enough
look
of
at
it.
Stu's socks. Can you see it? So he has got white Nike socks over his long black socks. So it looks like he's got the masking tape effect on his ankle.
Also, he's got one rolled up and one down.
Rolled down,
Well,
yeah.
well, actually, my leg is behind Hardy's leg.
Yeah, but
My,
it's still.
my left leg is behind Hardy's leg.
Excuse me.
Yeah, well, he's standing in
So-
front of me, isn't he?
Is that a name you give yourself?
Yeah. No.
So why the sock? Why the white sock over the black socks, Stu?
So I've always worn two
I
pairs.
saw Ronaldo
This
do
is
it
going.
once.
This is going to be
Yeah.
such an unnecessarily long story.
I'm just saying I've always worn two pairs of socks. And actually, believe it or not, Ben, no word of a lie, that's my knee support roll down. I've got a black knee support as my knee support roll down after the game. That's what it is. So yeah,
Oh, dear.
I have to play with
Well
my
done,
friend-
Ben. You made
at
fun
my
of a cripple.
tender age, I have to play with a knee support. But
You
Wow.
made fun of a cripple. Well done.
Needs 2 pairs of socks to pad out his size 6 boots that you don't fit in.
well, no. Here's the thing. I've only got size 7.5 feet. I've got small feet actually, so I have to wear. Yeah, I have to wear 2 pairs of socks in my 8 boots. So, but check out the old Kaisers. I was wearing Kaisers yesterday. James will appreciate that. Kind of semi appreciate the Kaisers, but
Yeah,
yeah, that's what it was.
I've got
Do
a
you
pair
know
of World Cups
about small
downstairs.
feet?
Yeah. Have you got some Copas and World Cups?
No, I don't know what Ben said. I've only got World Cups.
Stu, do you know what they say about small feet?
Yes, and it's
Ask
probably
James.
yeah. It's, I was going to say it's probably true in my case as well. That's what my missus would probably say anyway. So.
His missus tells us he wears
probably
a
would say that. Yeah.
Anyway, back to the F1.
Yeah. Well, don't. Oh, dear.
Three points for Max. He got
Thing is,
rattled.
I bet you're thinking, oh, I'm happy with that. I'm not, because it was. I actually really liked Spa, and it's just ruined what would have been a good race. So
Yeah, for George Russell.
Stupid. What happens when there's wet weather is just ridiculous. It's either off or it's not. Like, and it took way too long to make.
Every F1 fan wanted a wet race. We didn't want it that wet though, where it's just torrential storms. It's a shame, but
we know what's happening with that.
Connor, I'll send you that timestamp so that you can clip that up for yourself and put me out.
Yeah, do that.
I didn't want it that wet though. Oh bloody hell!
Yeah.
He's not crippled. He's got. I'm not going to bring up that comment. Right, I'm going to wrap up the show now. Is there anything else that we want to make fun of Stu for?
No, but it's been a pleasure, boys. It's been a joy joining you for this past 29 minutes.
Right,
Excellent.
everyone in the comments, thank you for joining. Everyone who's given us a super chat, thank you so much.
Where did Joe go, by the way?
Oh, fucking hell, Stu. Do you ever just let me do an outro?
Oh yeah, sorry, go on.
You don't let me ask questions. You don't let me fucking do an outro. You just interrupt me whenever you want, don't you, Stu?
It's uncut. I'm allowed to.
Oh, shut up, Stu. That's my favourite sentence now. Anyway, I don't know where Joe went, and he'll answer for himself later on.
Great stuff.
Fair play. Right, take it out. Get it off now. Right. I don't like being. No, you fucking hell.
Ben, explain yourself. Go on.
What?
That's it, mate. Oh, what is going on? Right, like, enough of this. I'm trying to close the show here. First of all, that's what needs to be on the screen. Oh, yeah, see, look. Oh. This is what happens when Ben gets involved in shows.
Oh, dear.
I felt like a kid at Christmas.
Are you done now?
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry. Feel free to be professional again and tell people to subscribe and how great you are.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Everyone who gave us bloody super chats, thank you so much, by the way, because we don't really ask you to do that, and we don't make it necessary for you to do that. So for you to do that, that means you think we deserve it. So thank you so much for that. Everyone who's watched, thank you. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, because there's lots of content coming. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Great show tomorrow. Probably lots of Arsenal talk there. I hope, anyway. And of course, we won a game of football, so let's all just lighten up a little bit. Because what's the point in being miserable? We won a game of football. We're still in a title charge. That's all we need to know. And Mason Greenwood's fucking mint. And Ronaldo's not even here yet, you fucking miserable gates. So let's all just get through this international break, and then all over again. It'll be wonderful. Also, what's that last comment? James would be great at poker. Yes, I think he would actually.
I don't know the rules
as well.
And let's end the show with a nice, lovely note of Viva Ronaldo!
Viva Ronaldo!
Viva Ronaldo! Running down the way, United States! Viva Ronaldo! We're gonna win the fucking last. See you in a bit.